All right, welcome everyone. Let's just dive right into this explainer. Today, we're exploring the fascinating source material behind the silent language we all speak literally every single day, usually without even realizing it. We're going to decode these kind of abstract secrets and see exactly how they translate into clear, actionable techniques that you can start using, well, right now. It's not magic, right? It's human psychology, and understanding it is just an absolute game changer to have in your back pocket.
You know, it's a bit intimidating to think about, but people judge us within seconds. And I mean, before we even utter a single word. The stakes of those crucial first few seconds in any interaction are just incredibly high. Seriously, before you've even had a chance to introduce yourself, or tell a joke, or share a brilliant idea, the person across from you has already formed a pretty complex opinion about exactly who you are. Your unspoken voice? Yeah, it's often the loudest one in the room.
Literally without saying anything, your physical presence sends a very distinct message. One path projects total confidence, attraction, and power. But the flip side? That broadcasts that you're nervous and insecure. And honestly, there's rarely a middle ground in those initial moments. But the really great news from the research is that you actually have complete control over which of these two messages you're projecting.
So here's our roadmap for today. First, we'll cover the silent first impression, followed by mastering facial body language, and then posture and hand movements. After that, we'll dive into navigating personal space, and finally, changing how people see you.
Okay, Section 1, the silent first impression and the stakes of your unspoken voice.
So this is what's known as the 3-second rule. First impressions and judgments are locked in almost instantly, and 3 seconds? That is incredibly fast. From an evolutionary standpoint, our brains, specifically the amygdala, the part that processes fear and emotion, it had to quickly assess if a stranger was a friend or a threat. And guess what? We still carry that exact same hardwiring today. You simply cannot afford to waste those first silent seconds fumbling around with nervous energy. You've got to step into that window with real intention.
Moving right along to Section 2, mastering facial body language, the power of eyes and smiles.
This source material actually breaks confident eye contact down into this super simple 3-step rhythm. Confident people don't avoid looking at others, right? But they also don't aggressively stare you down. So, step 1, you hold eye contact for just a few seconds. Step 2, you look away naturally. Maybe just glance to the side, breaking the tension for a brief moment. And then step 3, you reconnect. It creates this rhythm that feels calm, engaging, and entirely natural.
So, why do we even do this? Well, the psychological payoff is massive. When you hold that calm rhythm, you are silently signaling so much to the people around you. You instantly appear way more trustworthy. People actually perceive you as showing more intelligence. And of course, it completely radiates confidence. You aren't hiding, but you aren't threatening them either. You were just totally present.
Now, let's talk about smiles, because there's a world of difference between a genuine smile and a fake one. We have all seen a fake smile, right? It uses only the mouth and it disappears as quickly as it popped up, which honestly can make people feel pretty uneasy. But a genuine, real smile, that affects the muscles all around your eyes. It lingers. That genuine smile acts like a total magnet, instantly making people feel comfortable, friendly, and just naturally drawn to your energy.
Section 3, posture and hand movements. Let's talk about grounding your physical presence.
Look, posture changes absolutely everything. Confident people just naturally adopt these specific mechanics. Their shoulders are relaxed. They aren't hunched all the way up around their ears holding on to tension. Their back is straight, taking up their full, natural space. And their head is up, surveying the environment, instead of staring down at the floor. Bad posture silently tells people you lack confidence, but making these 3 simple adjustments, it instantly kills those bad habits and gives you a massive increase in your physical presence.
And here's a massive, massive takeaway from the research. Fixing your posture isn't just some trick to fool other people. It's actually tied to a psychological concept called embodied cognition, meaning it fundamentally shifts your own internal state. Your brain is constantly getting signals from your body. So when you straighten your back and lift your head, you are literally telling your own brain that you are safe, secure, and powerful. It actively changes how you feel about yourself in real time. How cool is that?
All right, let's talk hands. Our hands are incredibly expressive tools. When you hide them, stuffed in your pockets, behind your back, or folded up tightly, people subconsciously perceive you as nervous or even dishonest. It's just human nature to wonder what someone is hiding. But open hand gestures, those act as a fast track to building trust. Showing your hands openly tells the other person, hey, I have nothing to hide and I'm open to connecting with you.
But hey, it's not just about where your hands are. It's about how they move. Slow, deliberate hand movements make you appear incredibly calm and powerful. It shows you are in total control of your space. On the flip side, fast, jerky, or uncontrolled movements, that just broadcasts high anxiety. And this is exactly why the greatest public speakers in the world exclusively use slow, controlled gestures. It projects this undeniable, quiet authority.
Section 4. Navigating Personal Space, the Unspoken Physical Boundaries.
The source material brings up this really fascinating concept called the Goldilocks zone. Just like in the fairy tale, right? It's all about finding what is just right. It's that ideal physical distance that respects a person's personal space, but still keeps you looking fully engaged in the interaction. It's a delicate balance for sure, but nailing it is absolutely key to making any interaction flow smoothly. To hit that sweet spot, we kind of have to look at the extremes. If you stand way too close, you're invading their space and it instantly makes people feel uncomfortable and defensive. But if you stand too far away, well, the interaction feels cold, distant, and just completely disconnected. Small, subtle adjustments in your physical distance, literally stepping just half a foot forward or backward, can completely transform the warmth and the ultimate success of a social interaction.
Finally, Section 5. Changing how people see you, bringing it all together.
I want you to consider this profound takeaway from the research. Your body speaks before your words do. I mean, that is the fundamental thesis of everything we've explored today. You are always communicating. Every single time you walk into a room, join a meeting, or go on a date, a highly complex conversation is already happening before you even open your mouth to say hello.
When you actually commit to mastering this stuff, dialing in that calm eye contact, straightening your posture, controlling your hand gestures, using genuine smiles, and respecting that Goldilocks zone of personal space, the rewards are literally life-altering. You don't just change your first impressions, you actively improve your long-term relationships because people just feel better being around you. And most importantly, you permanently elevate your own internal confidence.
Which really leaves us with one final, incredibly important thought. Now that you know the secrets, what will your silence say about you today? You've got the tools, you have the structure, and you know exactly how the psychology works. So step out into the world, stand tall, and actively wield your new silent vocabulary. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I seriously cannot wait to see how you use this to transform your presence.